does it seem like some women walk around with a sign on their foreheads that say abusive men only? Almost as if that's the only type of guy they attract each and every time, or they stay in a very long-term relationship with one, and it's very hard for them to see their way out of a relationship that's abusive. Now, it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I am definitely, before I even get started, I want to definitely start off by just letting each and every one of you know that this is not about giving a guy a right to put his hands on a woman in an abusive way. That's not what this is about. Yes, they are at fault. Yes, that's jacked up, and yes, they deserve to pay for the consequences of doing those actions, those crazy, ridiculous, coward actions. So, here's the deal. It's not about that. It really isn't about that. And a lot of people put too much attention on the men when it comes to domestic violence, and when the first thing that they do is get mad at the guy and want to go after the guy. And many years ago, that would have been me too. If I had a friend or a family member and they had a guy who was physically abusing them, it's like I pretty much would be the first person that should be picked up, because I want to go and let them know what abuse feels like and take that anger out on the perpetrator. So trust me when I say that I understand why the anger is directed towards the guy. But this particular show today is not about that. It is about why some women attract those type of guys and what that says about them and what they can do about it so that they can quit attracting guys like that. Because it is not a law. It is not a law. It is not a law. And what I mean by that is we create laws for ourselves all the time. There's laws we create for ourselves, and there are universal laws that apply to everybody. It is not a universal law for guys to be abusive to every woman. That's why there's a lot of women, me included, that have never, ever, ever in life had a situation where we were in an abusive relationship. So from that standpoint, if that's the case, if there are some women walking around right now that's never, ever, 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 ever been in a physically abusive relationship, then that means it's not a universal law that it applies to every single woman, that they're going to always encounter that they're going to always have problems with that. It's not a universal law. So that means it's an individual law that was created for yourself by your own limiting beliefs, and you've caused it to be a reality in your life. So before I go on, let me just start by giving you a little bit of information on who I am. My name is Joy, and I'm a body and mind detox coach, author of R3 Diet, certified personal trainer, and synergistic kinesiology specialist. And so I help people, particularly who are I mainly help busy professionals who are a little too fat, stressed, and nearly depressed, once and for all lose weight and gain bliss. Help people live a blissful life in their best self, in their true self. And that's what this is all about. When you are in a physically abusive relationship, it is dang near impossible for you to live your best life. It's impossible. But that tells me a lot about you now. Forget the guy, X the guy out. It tells me a lot about you. If you're in a relationship where you're allowing that and you're allowing yourself to be a victim. So let me explain what I mean by that. If you're a woman that's walking around with a sign on your forehead that says abusive men only, what that tells me about you. That tells me that you have a subconscious negative belief in that area of your life regarding relationships. That you've put a negative subconscious belief in your head, and keep in mind, and this is important for each one of you to know, we all have them. We all have thousands of subconscious negative beliefs in certain areas. If you want to know which area you have them the most in, look in your area and see which area of your life has the most problems and struggles. That's where you have the most limiting beliefs. Okay? So the person that suffers from constantly being abused by men, they have the most limiting beliefs when it comes to relationships. And it could have stemmed from most limiting beliefs stem from when you're a child and you don't know how to process a traumatic experience, or you don't know how to process a circumstance in your life that you're going through that's negative. And so the only way you process that is by coming up with some type of sentence that says, well, this situation must mean this, and you create a law for yourself. So let's just say, for instance, because it could be a multitude of reasons, but let's just say, for instance, that you saw your mom physically abused by your dad. Okay? And she stayed with him. And so you may think, okay, you deserve it. Or you may come up with a subconscious limiting belief that says, that's the way you express love. Either way, you've allowed yourself to have some type of limiting belief system that now you've suppressed it because you're a kid. You've suppressed it into the subconscious so you don't have to think about it anymore, because when you think about it, it hurts. And so you pushed it away. It is not gone. It was not solved. It was not taken care of. So therefore, now certain things in your life trigger it. It comes up. It rears its ugly head. And now all of a sudden you draw in people, situations, or circumstances that allows that belief to be proven. It has to prove it to you. Whatever you believe has to be proven to you. Because it's your belief, it's your law you created for yourself. So when you have a belief system like that, you have symptoms of it. And most people treat the symptoms. One of the symptoms is low self-esteem. That's one of the symptoms. So if you go and take some freaking Prozac or something, you're treating a symptom, but you're never ever going to solve it because of the fact that you did not take care of the root cause. All you did was treat a symptom. One symptom being low self-esteem. If you have low self-esteem, you're operating in a low vibration. Everything has vibration, is attached to vibration. And so when you are operating and believing and thinking and feeling in a low vibrational realm, then what happens is you draw those people who are also in a low vibration to you. Some guy that's thinking, popping you in your head and abusing you, they're operating in a low vibration. They have big time issues, and you just drew them into your life. And what ends up happening is when you attract on that level, it ends up becoming your normal way of living. That's part of your normal way of living. You become familiar with it, and you just accept it. You just accept it as normal. Even if you don't see it happening with other people, you just accept it as normal in your life. Doesn't mean you enjoy it. Doesn't mean you like it. It's just something that you've come to accept. And whatever you accept, the universe will agree with you. Whatever you create as a law for yourself, the universe will agree with you. It says yes to everything. If you say you don't deserve a good guy, it says yes to that. If you say you don't deserve to be happy, it says yes to that. If you say you deserve the abuse, it says yes to that. If you say I can't leave, it says yes to that. So any and everything that you put out there in a feeling or in your words or in your thoughts, it agrees with you and you get more of it. And the more you get of something and the more you accept of something, you end up just living through it day in and day out. And it's like a web, and the web gets thicker and thicker and thicker. And the thicker a web gets, the harder for you to break through that web, because now each web has thickened over months or over years. Think of a spider web and think of how thin it is. If you walk through a spider web, you could easily walk through that little thin web. But if it just constantly gets thicker and thicker and thicker with every thought, and we think 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day, with every negative thought in that area, and most of them goes under your radar, you don't even know you're thinking it, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. Now try to walk through it. Now it kind of bounces you back a little bit. Bounces you back to into the world that you've accepted. So, what can you do? You have to you're going to make an agreement. You're either going to agree that you're a victim or agree that you're a victor. Now, a victim condones, a victor commands. Write that down. A victim condones, a victor commands. If you're a victim, you condone. And condone means accepts or allows abuse to continue. That's what happens when you condone something. You accept or allow the abuse to continue. If you're a victim, you condone it. That's what you do. If you're a victor, you command. You give an authoritative order. Now, let me explain something to you. The women who have never attracted an abusive man into their life, it is because, it doesn't mean they walked around and on the first date they said, you will never put your hands on me. That didn't happen. It is an aura. Just picture this invisible bubble surrounding you. And we all have this invisible bubble surrounding us. And it speaks to people before they even have to open their mouth and say a word to you. Your aura already gave a story. It already spoke something about you. Okay? So your aura already told somebody that they can walk on you like a stinking mat and you'll allow it. Your aura already told them to. That's how they know how to get the right ones, the vulnerable ones. They know exactly who they can get that would allow that. And the ones who will not accept anything and will not accept to be treated as such, it repels them. It repels such a perpetrator. So the key that you want to make sure that you're always doing is you want to make sure that you have that victor mentality and not the victim mentality, and the victor mentality and not the victim mentality. So let me just really quickly say that if you ever truly want to get the solution taken care of, quit treating symptoms. Treat the problem. Treat the root cause. And when you grab something up from the ground by its roots, it cannot grow anymore. Now it's gone forever. It's a problem you never have to deal with anymore. So the solution is going to that root problem and changing it. If you know that your statement that you've been saying to yourself is, I don't deserve better than this, then you have to go with releasing that. And the fastest way to release it is to just, number one, apologize. You have to have forgiveness in your heart. You have to forgive yourself for allowing it. You have to forgive the perpetrator. You have to forgive the whole situation. And the second thing is you have to kiss it and cast it. Kiss it and cast it into the ocean and send it off with love. Send it off with love. It is not worth it for you to harbor the negative feelings into your system that's going to be toxic for you and it's going to cause your own demise. It's best to let it go. So you kiss it and cast it and you let it go. And when you kiss it and cast it and let it go, now you are free to walk in peace. You are free to walk in love. You are free to walk in victory. You are free to walk in positivity. You are free to walk in confidence. In knowing who you truly are. Because when you know who you truly are, oh my goodness. Prince Charming is the only thing that can step into your aura. Then you'll draw in a guy that you would have never dreamed of in a million stinking years. You'll be like, oh my goodness, this is what it's been costing me. Staying with that scrub, this is what it's been costing me. It's an opportunity cost involved. That means there's something that is for you out there that you can't even have access to because you're holding on to crapola, you're holding on to garbage, and you're holding on to something that's very, very toxic. That is why I love doing what I do. That's why I love helping people let go of the toxicity in their lives. And that's what this is all about. It's not about them. It's about you. When you let go of the toxicity, you let go of the problem. You let go of the root problem. Problem solved. Go to Tahiti. You're good to go. No problems at all in your life. 99 problems, no more. You have 0 problems. You have peace. You're a winner. You're a victor. That's what this is all about. I'm glad you guys stayed here with me. Again, I'm Joy with R3method.com. It just stands for reverse, retrain, rebuild your body and mind. That is what we are all on a journey to do to get to our best selves, is to reverse, retrain, rebuild our bodies and mind. Until next time, guys, R3 for life. Bye.